right, that was a nice little break, nice little break. And also, I know something that's also on some of you all minds, even though you haven't named it. I know some of you are experiencing this thing where you're taking pictures, taking video, and then you get this pop-up of you're running out of storage space.
Yeah.
Right? I know you're getting it. It's happening to so many people. That is cloud storage, okay? That is not the storage on your phone. It's an automatic setting in your Google account with your phone that when you take a picture, take a video, it automatically sends it up to the cloud. Does anybody actually know what the cloud is? Yes, it's a storage bin that is in another location. And so if you can think of it as, if you save some videos and then your phone got full and you said, hey Marvin, can I save some of my videos on your hard drive because you got more space than me? And I say, yeah, but I'm gonna charge you $5 a month. That's what cloud storage is you're basically letting Google save your pictures and your things like that on their storage drives. And they're charging you after you reach this limit. So what you can do is you can delete the stuff that's on there and for more room, or you can buy more room, but they're gonna keep charging you more and more because, trust me, it's a hook, okay? And at some point, you're gonna pay too much and you're gonna want those pictures back. And then if you don't pay, you have no more access to your pictures, your files, your photos, and that's the trap right there. Is now that you put so many photos and so many videos up there, you're forced to pay because you still want access to your stuff. How terrible is that? Is that you don't want to pay $300 a month and now all of a sudden you ain't got access to the pictures of your grandbabies and the videos of the last birthday party. That's the trap right there. So don't even get into it because that's what's going to happen. Is it's going to fill up, you pay, they start you off with this pay $199 a month. Whatever, $199 a month, it's gonna keep going up till you get to the point where you don't want to pay it. So that's why one thing we're doing with Geneva right now, we're getting her a flash drive. Okay, that's right. So you can save all of your stuff on your own hard drive, and you can always get to your stuff whenever you want it, and don't have to pay anybody any monthly premium. I have a bunch of my own hard drives. I have 18 terabytes in each of my hard drives, a lot of space, but I do a lot of video. Just like all these videos, they all get saved on their hard drive so I can upload them, okay? Yes, yes, we'll go over all the types of different versions of it too. It's important that you know what they are, the little connected devices, because that's how you save what's happening in your life, okay? Now, when we left off, we were talking about storage. We were talking about ROM and RAM. Those are two things you absolutely need to know for sure to make your phone run properly when you're using it. You want to know how much storage you have. That's ROM. So when these things say 128 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes on these higher numbers, that's storage. That's where you save your pictures and your videos and all those types of things. Now, when your phone runs out of storage, you're not going to be able to download any more apps. You're not going to be able to do any updates on your phone. Your phone is basically going to be stuck, and you're going to be forced to delete things. Because nowadays, a lot of phones don't allow you to put in this extra little SD card, which is more storage space. And so you're forced with the storage that's in your phone. Now you also have this thing called RAM. RAM is what makes your phone function so that it can actually run the apps that you're playing. And so, don't you know you have Netflix, right? Netflix takes a huge amount of RAM to use on your phone. You have to download it and it takes up a lot of storage on your phone. Without RAM, you couldn't swipe through Netflix and go up and down and see all the different options. Your phone would just get stuck, literally on the first page. It wouldn't even scroll. Because what scrolling actually is, it's literally like a video. It's a bunch of pictures that's going too fast for your eye to see. Right? That's all a video is. It's literally hundreds and thousands of pictures that's going too fast for your eyes to see. As you all have heard of frame rates before, right? 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second. Once we get below 30 frames per second, we can see the in-betweens. You know, like the old films where it looks like it's flickering. But once it goes faster, you don't see the flicker anymore. Once it gets to 30 of them per second, so when you see that means it's not 30 of them yet. Once it's 30 of them within a second, your eyes can't see the difference anymore. It's very smooth. And what we're using now is 60 frames per second. So it's very smooth. That's a video. So when you're scrolling, you can think of it like a video. It's all these frames per second. And if you don't have enough RAM storage, your phone can't process all those frames per second. And every frame is high definition 4K. Okay? It's not 720p. And so when you're in Netflix, every little box that you look at, right, that's an icon for whatever movie you want to watch. You see how clear and how definition it is? All that has to scroll. And we're not scrolling like this. We scrolling as fast as we can. That takes RAM. And if you don't have enough RAM, you're going to scroll and all of a sudden your phone is just going to freeze. That is the very reason your phone slows down and freezes. You look on your phone, and we can't do it today, but I'll go through everybody's phone to show you. You might only have 4 gigabytes of RAM. You might only have 6 gigabytes of RAM. 6 is okay. 4 is a red marker right there. If you only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, you are in huge danger of your phone freezing very soon in the future. That's storage. That's ROM. Yes. You have to turn your phone off. You got to restart it. You got to turn it off, turn it back on. Because none of the buttons work. I would say check your storage often. Now, you don't have to check your RAM too often because it's not going to change. Then you have a limited amount of RAM. Now, I can look at some people's phones and manipulate your RAM to make it a little bit faster. But your RAM is so that you can run applications and so that you can run multiple applications. Like whether you knew it or not, when you open up an app like Netflix or YouTube, and you just swipe up and you just open up Netflix and you just then open up your email, those applications are not closed. That's why when you go back to them, you don't see the restart. Because when you restart an application, you see its logo pop up, right? But when you go back to it, it just goes back to the same screen that you were on previously. You're able to do that because you have enough RAM. If you didn't have enough RAM, your phone would just freeze. And then the only thing you'd be able to do is to close every application, and then you have to reopen it from start. That's why you need RAM, is to run all these applications, okay? Now, when you have 4 gigabytes of RAM, you're going to notice that your phone is going to start slowing down. Or like what my children say, it's lagging. Dad, my phone's lagging, it's lagging, it's lagging. You don't have enough memory to run all of them, and you need to start closing applications. So to close applications, you may notice if you kind of hold it and go up, and then you kind of see all of them open. Have you ever experienced that? And it says close all. You want to close all. And that frees up RAM for you so that you can use your phone properly. Other than that, it's taking up that memory and it's going to slow your phone down. Yeah, always close them off. And every few days, about every 2 days, you literally want to cut your phone completely off and cut it back on. Because there's glitches that happen in your phone all the time. when you just have this application open, it's not perfect, it glitches. And it makes your phone mess up all the time, okay? How do you get the emails off? The text? Okay, so one of the reasons your email is free is because they sell your information. And so yeah, you will get more. So all these emails that you get in these other categories, you'll keep getting them, and you do have to delete them. There's a box that's like that lets you click on, and it clicks on like all of them on that page. You want to use that one to your advantage, and delete on a regular basis. And you can block them. That's right. Yes, Reese. There may be. If you have one in there, that's to your advantage. It gives you more storage. So, like if your phone has, let's say you buy a phone and it has 512 gigabytes, right, of storage, and then you go buy a little SD card and it has 512, and you put it in your phone. Now it's combined. Now you have a terabyte of storage that you can use together to your advantage. That's what I have on my phone. I have both because I knew it wasn't gonna be enough. I got 512 plus I got another 512. Actually, I got 256 and 512. It is. It's this little thing, this metal piece like a paper clip, and when you poke it in and it pops out, sometimes there's a space for only your card that connects to the cell phone towers. And then sometimes there's two slots, and one of them is for the SD card. Okay? That's right. But we want to check our phones and make sure our phones have more than 4 gigabytes of RAM. Trust me on this one. If you only have 4 gigabytes of RAM in your phone, you will have issues. No. So the 256 gigabytes is the storage. That's the ROM. The RAM is the other side of it. The storage is what lets you save pictures, videos, PDFs, but the ROM is lets you actually run the application itself. So let me give you, I'll give you an example. So for me as a human being, I have a brain in my head, right? Now, the RAM is allowing me to walk back and forth and things of that nature, and I can see the lines, I can see all the lines, and I can close my eyes, and I can remember there's lines there. 2 weeks later, I may not remember where a line was on this floor, but it's allowing me to function as I go throughout my day. But I don't have to memorize every single piece of information, but I have to use information to function. But the ROM is like my birthday. I'm not going to forget my birthday 2 weeks later or a month later. It's like my name. I'm not going to forget that 2 weeks later. But I don't necessarily need my name to walk back and forth across the floor, or for if an obstacle is in my way. If an obstacle is in my way and I turn around, I need to know it's still in my way so I don't just trip over it. That's my short-term memory. I need that. So that's how you can think of your RAM. It's like your short-term memory. Your ROM, long-term memory. When I say pictures, when I say video, I want to be able to go back months later and still be able to see those pictures and video, right? But months later, my phone doesn't need to save every button that I press in Netflix, right? Because it does temporarily save that, but I don't need to bring up that information later, right? It doesn't need to bring up that I searched for, I searched for shoes. Okay, I don't need to memorize that 2 years, 3 years later. much info, especially when we start getting into AI. We don't have time today, but I'm going to tell it to you. Go to your settings, and as you scroll down, there's going to be an option that says storage and memory. And if you cannot find it, I always say go to the search bar and just type the words in. That's right, storage and memory. It's in device care too. Some phones may have it in device care. And you want to see how much RAM, RAM, or sometimes it just simply calls it memory. And some people will say 4 gigabytes. If it's 4, you really need to look into getting a new phone that has more RAM. Because these apps are not getting any simpler. They're getting more complicated. And they're taking more and more RAM just to be able to run one application. And we're steady having 10, 12, 15 applications open at one time. At the very least, we want to have 6 gigabytes of RAM so you keep your phone functioning on a great basis. Okay? Now, my phone has 12 gigabytes. Right? Now, if you have 6, you're okay. If you have 8, 10, 12, you're in great shape. Yeah, they're all gigabytes. When you see the lower numbers like 6, 8, and 10, that's your RAM. You see these higher numbers like 128, 512, 256, that's your storage. What did you say? Okay, you're using 5 of your 8. You're in good shape. You got 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, but so you have double the amount, and that's perfect. But if you have 4, you definitely want to get another phone. Okay, and we'll get more into it. And come back tomorrow, right? We'll get more into it tomorrow as well. Huh? You should have at least 6. Okay. Let me come look real fast. So definitely, I encourage you to come back tomorrow because we keep going over these things. How to use your phone, how to use your phone, right? Not just a phone, not just a tablet. How to use your phone specifically. All right, and I will see everyone either tomorrow or next Monday, but I hope to see you tomorrow. Yes. That's right. So on Mondays and Tuesdays, I speak about generally the same things, right? Something may be talked about on Tuesday, we didn't talk about on Monday, something like that. Somebody may have a question, but overall, Mondays and Tuesdays are generally the same information for the most part.